Hey guys, it's Caitlin, and I wanted to share with you a little bit of my story. I grew up in a Christian home, and I'm a strong believer in God, and heaven and hell, and all those generic things. And I will try and make a video later about exactly what I believe, but this one's gonna be about my story. Growing up, I dealt with a lot of rejection. I was homeschooled, so I didn't have the chance to go out and make very many friends. All my friends were at church. All the kids I knew were at church. And the kids at church didn't really get along with me. Only God knows why. I was an amazing child. And as I got older, I always wondered why I was having trouble making friends, what made me different. And I would ask my Mom, why can't I make friends? And she'd tell me it was just because I was different and because God has set me apart. And being like 8, 9, you don't really understand that. You think, okay, I'm different, that's great. You don't want to be different in that age. You want to be different when you're in high school and you're becoming your own individual. And as I got older, I kept on trying to give the idea of friendship and finding people to connect with a new chance. Every time I went somewhere new, I thought, I can do this. I'm going to make friends, and it's going to be great. And I would make friends, but it wouldn't last very long. And we started a new church. I did make some friends, a couple of guy friends, and they're great, but because we were in middle school, we couldn't connect on the same level. And I couldn't hang out with them much because it was seen as weird because I was the only girl. And so by the time I was in my sophomore year of high school, I believed that friendship didn't exist. Friendship was something that was very shallow and pointless, and I didn't see the point in it anymore. I secluded myself and I read books pretty much 24/7. My books were my best friends. That was all I ever did in my free time, was draw and read. My senior year in high school, I went to Francis Tuttle and I took their 3D animation and visual effects program. And I made my first real friends. At the time, I didn't realize or understand that they were real friends. It didn't make sense to me because I didn't know what that looked like. And so I continued being friends with them, but I didn't really depend on them in any way. I shared with them, yes, but I didn't go to them if I needed help or anything like that. We really connected because we were both into art and into animation, because it's hard to find that group of people that are into art and cartoons. Most kids my age are kids. I'm not a kid anymore. Most people my age in their early 20s aren't into cartoons anymore, but I absolutely love them. So it was great to be in an atmosphere where people appreciated the art style of cartoons or of visual effects, and it was a very positive atmosphere. It was a fertile ground for me to start learning about regular friendships. Francis Tuttle was I guess you could say it was like a jumping board for me learning what a real friendship looks like, because I had never seen one. And I am still friends with them. And whenever I was in my senior year of high school, our church was going through a lot of changes and it was kind of falling apart, which it was just really messed up. Churches do fall apart, leadership can be corrupt, and it's not God's fault. It is humanity's natural nature to be sinful. And whenever we allow the devil in that door, we open that door to him, it's our fault that our leadership falls away. And that's really what just happened at the church. And we ended up leaving and trying to find another church, and we found this church called The Gate. And I absolutely love The Gate. At first, I had a lot of trouble making friends there, and it wasn't their fault. It was more my fault because I was so focused on being somebody that they would like that I wasn't able to connect with them because I was too focused on being someone cool. And the longer I went there, the more I realized that those people were going to be around no matter how I messed up, no matter what went wrong. And I started becoming myself again. Whenever I was going to the Gate Church and I started making friends, they continued to press me and push me to become myself, or to let them know when something was going on. And I had a very independent spirit about me. I did not ask anybody for any kind of help, ever. I wouldn't ask for help to get things. If I needed money for food, I would never ask my parents. I would either go without or I would pay for it myself somehow. I wouldn't depend on my friends for any emotional kind of help or advice because I just didn't think that they would be there for me for that. And if I did ask them for help, I believed that they would disappear because I was asking them for something instead of me giving something. But my friends at the Gate, they were very different. They wanted to be there for me no matter what I was going through. They helped me through it all. They helped me face the past that I lived through. They helped me face the hard memories and the pain. It was the first place I had ever felt truly and completely accepted by everybody for who I was, which is something that can seem overrated, but it is priceless. Because that's what true family is. People who will accept you for who you are, no matter what you do, no matter where you go, no matter how you mess up. That's true family. And that is what the family of Christ is supposed to be. And it isn't that way most of the time. But I found my family. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you, and this is how the devil kept me quiet. He caused me to believe that nobody cared about what I thought or what my opinion was because I was rejected. And my entire life, I've wanted to give people a message. I wanted to spread God's love. I wanted to show them God's love. I have a very strong passion about giving that love to others, just whether it's through encouragement or advice or gifts or simply listening. That is my biggest passion. It's the thing that I'm most passionate about, but I cannot be that person if I don't believe I have a voice. And this last Sunday night, I was at church. There was an altar call, and my friend prayed for me during the altar call, and we were just talking, and then she got up to go pray for somebody else. And I just felt this urge to go up on stage and tell everybody that I have a voice. So I stepped up the first step on the staircase. There's 2 stairs and they're extremely uneven. It bothers me like crazy. But so I stepped up on that first step. This first step is like really short and low to the ground, so it's not very noticeable if you're standing on it. So I was just standing there trying to get my courage to go up there and say something, because I didn't have permission to go up on stage or anything. It wasn't scheduled. I wasn't supposed to go up there necessarily. It wasn't against the rules, but it wasn't the norm at all. So I stood on that first step for a little bit, kind of waiting for our youth pastor to come to a pause or something, and at the same time trying to keep myself from talking myself out of going up there. And finally I took the next step, and I was on the second step, almost to the stage, trying to convince myself I can do this. I was trying to come up with what I would say once I got up there. And the funny thing about God, when he talks to me, when he urges me to do something, he doesn't tell me what to do necessarily. He tells me where to go, and then he says, I'll let you know what to say once you get there. And that for me, it takes a lot of trust and a lot of boldness, because you don't know what you're going to say once you get up on that stage. Or you don't know what you can say once you get to that person he wants you to encourage. And you get there and you're like, I know God wants me to say something to you. And you just gotta wait for it to come out, because you don't know what it is yet. So I was standing on that step trying to get the boldness that I needed to get up there. And our youth pastor had the worship team go over a song again, and during that time I finally made that last step, and I stepped on the stage and I walked over to the youth pastor and I said, hey Josh, I need to talk to the youth. I just feel like God's urging me to share with them something that I've been going through. And he said, okay, just wait a few minutes. And so we waited through that song, and I just stood there on the stage worshiping with the worship team. And then Pastor Josh gave me the mic. My eyes were still closed and worshiping when he handed me the mic, so I was a little taken aback, and I was like, oh, I guess it's time. And so I got the mic and I walked up a little further out and I introduced myself. Of course, most of them know me, but not everybody knows me. We get new kids in all the time. And I told them that the devil has been fighting me to keep me quiet for a long time. And he's been doing that through rejection and loneliness. He's been using rejection and loneliness to prove to me that I don't have a voice, that I don't matter, and that I don't have a purpose. But I'm here to tell you that this summer was the first time in my entire life that I have felt completely accepted for who I am. Every part of me. And I just wanted to say tonight that I have a voice. And then I gave the mic back to Pastor Josh. I went down the steps. I was shaking, by the way, through this entire thing, and was trying not to lose my composure. And I was a little bit crying and trying not to cry. That didn't work out so well. And then I went and gave my friends hugs, trying to just get over that rush of empowerment and being bold and speaking up. Most people think it is weak to admit to being rejected, to being lonely, that it's weak to admit that you have issues. But that's the thing. Nobody has the boldness to admit to it. You have to be bold and strong to admit that you have a problem, that you went through that you had loneliness and it was real. And you have to have that boldness and strength. That's not something to be afraid of to share. It's something that it takes strength to share. And in sharing it, it proves that you're strong. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys, and I will be posting another video to give you more in depth of what I believe so that you can understand more of what I am talking about. Please like this video, and thanks for watching. You can stop recording now. Now I gotta think.
You can put that in at the end for the bloopers.
Yeah, I probably could. I'm gonna pause right there.
I'm sorry.
Let's see, where was I?